Hello guys, we are back again with our best tutorials, continuing our AWS basic topics, and this time we will be covering a network topic which will be like VPC. So VPC is virtual private cloud. So VPC is subdivided into subnet, internet gateway and security groups. First of all, we will try to look into what VPC is, then we will be continuing our discussion on subnet, internet gateway and security group. So VPC is providing you a logical isolated section of AWS cloud where you can launch AWS resources in a virtual network that you define. You have complete control over your virtual networking environment, including section of your own IP address range, creation of subnets, configuration of route tables and network gateways. So this is what Amazon say. I just want to give you a practical example. Like I have a home, so in my home I have around 5 rooms. So home is like my AWS, and one room which is only for my private one private room is only for my personal space. That private room is known as VPC. So you can compare with your private room as an example of VPC. So in your private room you can have your own things, you can define your own rules, right? You can play with your own, or you can play with your own instruments, you can have your own study table, you can have your own books. So in the same way you have a VPC, you can have your own IP addresses, you can have your own subnets and you can have your own route tables. So what is subnet? If I further divided that VPC into the IP range, that is known as subnet. Sub, the one major difference between subnet and VPC is VPC can be in various availability zones, but subnet can be only in your one availability zone and you cannot span the subnet in different zones. Availability zones are distinct locations that are engineered to be isolated from failures in other availability zones. By launching instances in separate availability zones, you can protect your application from failure of single location. AWS assigns a unique ID to each subnet. So this is what AWS say. Now we are coming back to our example. So in my private room in a house, I have I have one Almira. I have given the ID to that Almira, and every book in that Almira will be using that ID. So that is a subnet, and that Almira can be in a single room. That Almira cannot be using the different home, right? So I have one room in which I have one Almira, and that Almira can be a single subnet. So in order you want your application to be clustered, so make two different instances in two different rooms in two different Almira, so that you can achieve the high availability. So each AWS instance has been assigned to a unique ID. So this is what subnet is. So moving ahead, now this is internet gateway. So internet gateway is horizontally scaled, redundant and highly available VPC component that allow communication between instances in your VPC and the internet. It therefore imposes no availability risk or bandwidth constraints on your network traffic. A internet gateway serves two purposes: to provide a target in your VPC route tables for internet routable traffic, and to perform network address translation for instances that had been assigned public IP addresses. This is what AWS say. Now internet gateway, if you want to talk to public network, if you want to talk to internet, you require some type of gateway. So every time your instance send a ping, it will first send it to a gateway, then gateway maybe doing the network address translation and then sending it to the internet for any access. So there are two type of internet gateways. First, directly they will be using public IP. Secondly, your instances will be having the private IP that is first converted into public IP and then sent to the internet. The second task of internet gateway is to connect your local data center to AWS. There also you can also use internet gateway. You can also create redundancy using multiple internet gateways for your single data center. So in case of your misconfiguration in one internet gateway, you can have traffic flowing through second internet gateway. So internet gateway is using your route table to talk to the internet and to your AWS instance. So you can give a full range in internet gateways 0.0.0.0, or you can narrow down the internet gateway to increase your security. To you can narrow down the routing tables of internet gateway to increase your security. So this is the basic concept of internet gateway. Now moving forward, now we have security groups. So internet gateway is like you can say your outer door of the house, from which you can move out of the house and talk to the public, right? So security group act as a virtual firewall that controls the traffic from one or more instances. When you launch an instance, you associate one or more security groups with the instance. You add rules to each security groups that allow to and from its associated instances. You can modify the rules for security group at any time. The new rules are automatically applied to all instances that are associated with security group. When we decide whether to allow traffic to reach an instance, we evaluate all the rules from all security groups that are associated with the instance. Simple. This is what AWS say. Now I want a machine in that Almira to have specific firewall rules. These type of IP should be allowed. These type of services should be allowed to that machine. So I will create a security group and define those ports which I want to open for that machine, and will attach those that security group to my machine. So security group is like a virtual firewall. Simple. So these are the four basic concepts of AWS in a networking part. In networking part, second we will try to perform all this live, and then we will discuss the further feature of all those four components. Thanks for watching this video. Please like and share this video so that we can continue this work. We want this education to be spreaded, this technology to be spreaded all around the world. Thanks. Thanks. Bye bye.